Hey coin collectors and welcome to DC Coin World International Coin Channel. Well, today in my change I got the Sally Ride, the Dr. Sally Ride United States quarter, and this is it here on the left. And I've been waiting for these to come out so I could get them in my change and then look at them. This is the second one I've gotten. They decided that they were going to put 5 of these out in 2022, starting with the Maya Angelou quarter. And this is Maya Angelou, the bird behind her, her arms outstretched. The sun kind of waves around the bird and her. And this quarter came out on February 7th, 2022. The next one to come out was the March 22nd, 2022, and that's a Dr. Sally Ride quarter, which we see here. So let's take a look at it. We'll also talk about why the front looks so different than the old quarters, the old Washington quarters. And there's a story to that too, which is a great story. So stick around and we'll get to it. All right, so the Dr. Sally Ride quarter, we don't have a great number on how many were minted. We know that probably a few 100,000 of the S coins were minted, but in terms of the Philadelphia and Denver mint, don't have good numbers yet. And maybe that's because they're still minting them and they haven't released them all. But what we do know is that this is Dr. Sally Ride, America's first woman in space, and she is was a physicist, an astronaut, a teacher, and she also created these programs to get science to women and young girls and to just kids in general. So in 1983, on June 18th, she went up in the Space Shuttle Challenger, and this is actually a portrait of her standing by the window of the space shuttle wearing her astronaut uniform. You can see the NASA here and the decal here. And here in the back it says there's 2 initials there, and that is for Elena Hagler. And Elena just did a great job designing this coin, and it was engraved by Phoebe Hempel. And you see the PH there for Phoebe Hempel. It says United States of America around the top, $quarter, and then this is really cool because it doesn't just say $quarter like the old coins said on them. It says $quarter, then it says Dr. Sally Ride, which I just love the idea that her name is actually on this coin. And I should say that they did it a little differently, and I noticed that with the Maya Angelou, they put it on the in the center, right next to Maya's image, and this one they put it down here below Dr. Sally Ride to kind of focus on the astronaut looking out the window. They actually changed the typeset here. This is a copper nickel clad copper coin. So the outside is a copper nickel mix. The inside is complete copper. And when we get to the front, you say, hey, wait a minute. That's not what the quarters look like. They look like this. And here's a 2021 quarter. George Washington facing to the left, liberty over his head, and God we trust under his chin. Way down here, we see a J and an F for John Flanagan. Well, it turns out that in 1932, when this coin first came out, they had 2 possible designs that they were going to choose from. And the first of them was the John Flanagan design, and then the second of them was a design produced by Laura Garden Fraser. And they were really close, and it turns out that in the end, the head of the U.S. Mint picked this Washington, but this one was kind of right neck and neck. And many people advised the director to pick this one. This is Washington facing to the right. You notice this is Washington facing to the left. So then God we trust behind Washington. The L, the G, and the F down there. Of course, R for Laura Garden Fraser. And so they thought, when we start doing the American Women Quarter program, why don't we review or renew that design that Laura Garden Fraser did from 1932? And so this is the design. And you can see it's just a different style of design, maybe a little bit more real in terms of the face, different kind of hair, the way it's set up, and of course facing to the right instead of to the left. How many of these did they make at the Philadelphia Mint? We really don't know. They also made them at the Denver Mint, and they made two different versions at the San Francisco Mint. The Silver Mint set version and the clad version. So you can get it with a P, a D, an S with 90% silver coin, or an S with a clad coin like this. And it is 5.67 grams. It is, as I said, it's the second in the list of coins. Wilma Mankiller is the third, and I haven't got that yet, but that came out on June 14th. Nina Otero Warren is the fourth, and she's coming out, just came out on August 16th. And finally, Anna Mae Wong is the fifth of the women to be honored on these coins. And Anna Mae Wong's coin is coming out on October 25th. As I get these coins, I'm going to do videos on them. Hope you enjoy them. I'll try to get some real numbers at some point in time if the U.S. Mint ever releases them. And I want to thank the engraver and the designer of this coin because they just did a great job on the second of the American Women quarters. We'd love to have you subscribe to the DC Coin World International Coin channel and leave any comments you might have in the comments section.